I called this hearing because Miss Huertas, you all recall, was scheduled for jury trial, and we were in the process of picking the jury, which was going unusually, in my opinion, slow for a misdemeanor offense. And we adjourned for lunch, and when we came back, Miss Huerta did enter a plea. And I became concerned about some things the victim, her father, was saying about her drug usage. We had her probation officer do a drug test, a preliminary screen to see where she was. She told me that she's pregnant. I can't remember. Miss Huerta, how many months did you tell me you were along?
7.
You're 7 months pregnant, and you took this drug test about a month ago. I was trying to find the results of that. Mr. Regier, do you have that in front of you from the probation officer?
Your Honor, I would need the opportunity to go back through my emails, unfortunately, but I certainly can if the court wishes.
Will it take you much time?
I would not anticipate much time, Your Honor.
I think it's important that I get those specific numbers, and I don't have those right in front of me. I thought we entered them in the notes, but maybe not. And again, okay, Miss McManus, you are here. Lori McManus is here. Thank you. So, Miss McManus, you're the one that did the UA for her shortly after court. Is that right?
Your Honor, shortly after court, Sarah Wheeler completed a UA, which was positive for methamphetamine and amphetamine. The defendant also went across the street to the American Medical office, and a hair follicle was completed. And the hair follicle showed a reading.
Well, before you get to the hair follicle, so here she would have been at least 6 months pregnant. And you did a UA, and what were the results of the UA?
The defendant was positive for amphetamine and methamphetamine, and that was on 10/2/24 at 3:24 p.m.
Well, it's not just that she was positive for these substances that kind of took me aback. The cutoff scores are what, 500?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
And what were her actual scores? Now listen to this, Miss Huerta. I don't know if you're aware of it, but listen to this.
And this is the hair follicle test, though, that has the actual scores.
Is it more reliable or more accurate, or?
Both of them are accurate. Ms. Herta, when she did the initial UA, she did admit to usage at that point in time, and that again was on October 2nd. She went across the street and did the hair follicle test, and the cutoff levels on the hair follicle test were 500, and her were 18,443. And I asked the person that completed the test what that told them, and they said that levels that high show regular usage for a longer period of time.
Cutoff 500, she was, and that was for the meth, wasn't it?
That is correct.
And then what about the amphetamines? What did you learn about that?
It does not show anything. The hair follicle does not show anything for amphetamine on this one. It says methamphetamine on that, or it says methamphetamine. And yeah, just methamphetamine. 18,443 PG/mg.
Miss McManus, that seems awfully high to me. That seems higher than I would normally expect.
Yes.
As a probation officer, is that higher than you normally see, even for a chronic user?
I have not completed hair follicles in quite some time, but I did confirm with the person that completed this test that it was very, very high. I completed another UA on Miss Huerta when she came in to see me on 10/17. That UA was negative, but I had her do another one on Friday at Kelly Compliance. And that UA, the results of it should be back this afternoon. I was attempting to have her complete one last Monday, the 21st. However, her case manager was unable to locate her at that time, and we weren't able to get her in to actually get the UA completed until the 25th.
Don't we usually consider them, if they're a no-show, don't we usually consider them positive for drug use?
There was no way for me to contact her.
Okay.
And what had ended up happening, apparently the defendant had a male in her residence, and he has been charged, or he has previously been convicted of aggravated criminal possession, and he had battered her, so she was the victim and had left her residence. And that on the 22nd is when the police, I was able to obtain copies of the police report from the city of Wichita. And
So that was a new domestic battery against her
that is correct.
with her convicted felon boyfriend, October 22nd?
It's not a boyfriend. He came over to my house and never left. I'd been trying to get him to leave, and I had a friend come and escort him out, and after that he assaulted me.
Okay. So she's already violated her probation by having a relationship or having, strike that. Well, so here's my concern. No, this is not said. I know you've sent some emails, Mr. Andrews, concerned about the nature of this hearing. Since there is no motion to revoke probation on file, there may, it sounds like maybe, I don't know if there's one forthcoming or not, but I was just so concerned when I heard that her numbers were 18,443 meth. And here she is, you said you're 7 weeks pregnant or 7 months pregnant?
Yes, ma'am.
You're due to have that baby at 2 months if you could make it that long. And this baby's already addicted to meth that heavily, I'm presuming. So, but I am relieved. I don't know how it can be that someone that is obviously that chronic of a meth user can show up clean in, let's see, from October 2nd to October 17th. So in 14 days, she went from 18,443 to nothing, Miss McManus?
Your Honor, that's apples and oranges. That would be a difference between a hair follicle test result and a UA result.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I was thinking that those, I thought we had large numbers. Thank you, Mr. Andrews, you're absolutely right. But she still went from using to not, well, okay.
Your Honor.
Yes.
When I get the results back from the UA that was completed on Friday, if those results are positive, I do plan on filing a warrant to show cause based on that information.
Yes, Miss Huerta.
I was talking to my caseworker today about enrolling in Women's Recovery Center.
Well, that's probably a good idea. Too bad you can't enroll the baby though. I remember something about someone saying that you couldn't take your psych meds while you were pregnant. And it's like, and then I find out you're taking meth. Oh my gosh. Well, so I just wanted to make sure Ms. Huerta knew that I was very concerned and that I will be expecting regular reports. And I want to make sure that Ms. Huerta has another chance, if she hasn't already, to talk to her attorney about, which I I think I had let you off the hook, but if you were released, you're back on for a while, Mr. Andrews, or were you privately retained?
No, Your Honor, I was appointed, and I think that the way it would work is that since this is post-sentencing, once if and when an actual motion is filed and Ms. Huerta is back under the court's jurisdiction, that the court would need to file a new order appointing counsel.
Well, I don't want you to be here for free today, so if I need to appoint you today, I can do that.
Because the journal entry was just submitted, we haven't wrapped up everything.
Okay.
Okay, so I just approved the journal entry. I'm expecting that everything will be wrapped up, and then it would just be a situation that since Ms. Huerta will be on probation, there wouldn't be any future hearing dates unless and until a motion to revoke probation filed, and then at that point I would be appointed.
Okay. Well, I just was afraid to just leave this until a revocation would be filed, and then I know it takes sometimes a month or two to get her in here, and I didn't want you to go all this time, Ms. Huerta, thinking that you were getting by with this, because you're not. We're going to keep close scrutiny on you, Ms. McManus. I expect that, which I know you would do anyway. But this is so important for you, and then of course this child. Ms. Huerta, at your plea hearing, there was a lot of discussion about your father, the victim's wife, and that she had been appointed your guardian conservator at some point. Is she actually this woman that kept being referred to as your father's wife? I assume that was like maybe someone he had married later in life, but is that your mother?
That's my mother.
Okay, so we've got that cleared up. Is her father, the victim in this case, present? No, okay.
Your
All
Honor,
right.
based off of a cursory examination of the Zoom conference, it would not appear so at this time.
Okay, thank you. Well, he is entitled to notice of any hearings. I just want to make sure that we keep him in the loop. Okay, well, I'm going to just reiterate that you must go over all the conditions of your probation and you must comply with them, or you've got some significant jail time to do, Ms. Huerta. Do you understand that?
Yes. Did you want me to stop at the office today and do another UA?
Well, that's up to your probation officer. Usually if you think you're going to have a UA, you kind of alter your lifestyle, but I think that could explain a lot of the behaviors we've seen out of you leading up to the trial, and that we did the competency evaluation and they said you were competent. Well, now it seems like there's another explanation. Is there anything further, folks? Like I said, I just called this because I wanted her to know that I'm on top of this through the help of Ms. McManus, and that it's not going to be tolerated.
Your Honor, as counsel for the defense has already observed, as well as the court, it is the state's understanding that there is not a pending request for revocation currently before this court.
Yes. Mr. Andrews?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. McManus, do you want her to stop in and see you or not?
Yes, she can.
All right, you go see Ms. McManus.
Okay.
And Ms. McManus, how long before we do another hair follicle? How long do they usually wait? You just muted, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The hair follicles go back 90 days, so we would need to wait another 90 days to do another hair follicle test.
And that'll show us if the numbers are going down or up. Okay. All right, thank you. Go see your probation office, Ms. Huerta.